Well, today's yet again something a little bit different, and hell, I'm not even putting in the intro. Editing me, don't do it. So, as the title of the video says, this is something I wanted to do at the end of my last stream before I recorded this, and then I just took a break for the next couple of days because I really just decided, you know what? I need a break. I just need to take some days to myself. You know, I need some me days. I just want to chill. But I did still want to post something today, so we're going to do what I wanted to do at the end of the stream, and that is talk about the two Lies of P trailers for the Overture DLC. We only have two so far. We have the reveal trailer and the story trailer. So it's not a whole lot now. We still don't have a release date. We know it's coming in summer this year, but we don't quite know when, and I want to talk about what we have so far in terms of what the trailer has, what could happen, yada yada, all that good shit. So this probably won't be a long one, but considering my ability to yap and my tendencies, I'm also probably lying. So, that said, let's get discussing. Let's get analyzing. Ooh, something new. Let's just go. Alrighty, I messed with audio just a wee bit to make it easier to see, so this will be the first one. So this is the announcement trailer. We're gonna see how long I can go when it's just a minute and a half. Knowing me, this is probably gonna be like 10 minutes of analysis. Let's go. Okay, so the immediate start, if you know, you know. This item, obviously this is probably gonna be like our DLC trigger. Maybe it'll be something we pick up like once the DLC is installed and whatever. Maybe you get it at like the hotel. We'll figure this out. But it looks like to be what is our DLC key. And when you know the area, this is the shack in the first part of the Malum district, which, going by where this thing is flying off to, let's take a look. Oh, wait, oh, you can actually see it. Okay. Let's go frame, okay. So, this is a bit past there. This is like on the way down here. You can see it right there. This right here is a golden stargazer covered in foliage. Though from a distance it's hard to really make out the details. But it's been there basically since the start of the game, and everyone speculated since the game came out a few years ago that this was going to be like your trigger for the DLC. Like, for example, in the Dark Souls games, their DLCs are triggered with, you know, in the Souls-like in Dark Souls and Bloodborne, the DLCs are triggered by having a certain item and then being in a certain location, or at least meeting a certain NPC, for example, in the case of, like, say, Dark Souls 3 with the Ashes of Ariandel, that then takes you to the DLC location. But, so it's definitely going to be this Stargazer, and considering the fact that Sophia's powers are turning back time, it seems to be that we'll be using that Stargazer to go back to this pristine version of Krot before the puppet disaster absolutely ruined it. So let's see.
How can it be winter all of a sudden?
Okay, so Gemini. First off, I love the preview. This is so obviously we have if I had to guess, this has to be the Grand Exhibition building, or it's something new. I can't quite tell. My guess is it's the Grand Exhibition. Has to be. Of course, we get P in the obligatory fancy DLC outfit with the first of the new Legion arms, which is a sawed-off shotgun. I have to applaud that. I have to applaud just having a goddamn shotgun on the arm, which, oh boy, that looks like it's going to be a more fun. I hope it's we don't really see it used in the trailer from what I remember, so we'll go back through and we'll see. But it is very interesting.
I'm sorry. You want to know the year?
So we have some of this definitely looks like it's going to be new locations, but it does make me wonder how much of this are we going to get to see of like a Krot before the disaster. Krot before it was left as just an empty ruin in a husk that was eventually torn apart by the Ergo going out of control.
What a pleasure to...
See, this. Okay, this has to be under the hotel because that's the Pistres submarine. So this has to be like under the hotel. Also, this character talking. Hold up, we'll talk about that because I just wanted to say.
You want to know the year?
What a pleasure to meet a stalker worthy of the name. It's been far, far too long.
Neil Newport, our boy Asterion. Okay, so I'm so curious what character he's going to be playing then, because Neil's voice acting is phenomenal, and I hope he's like either a recurring NPC or a boss. So we have the Hull of Adventure, a woolly mammoth who someone's body has unfortunately been stuck to. So we're definitely not at Krot when it's in a stable spot, though. Like, it's before the disaster, but it's hard to tell what's going on so far. Again, it's just speculation. All we can do right now is speculate what's going on in Krot at this specific time. It's obviously before the puppet disaster, but who's to say what else? It's the kid! It's the cat! It's the cat before he got big!
My forever friend, help me to hold your hand and dance.
Okay, a thing I want to talk about too, I also want to talk about the music a bit. Again, I'm still wowing. I love the design of this new Legion arm. I love how it's just ivory white with decorations, and then you just have the gun strapped to it. Huh, it's not even really strapped to the wrist part. It's actually part of like the upper elbow section, so the forearm can still twist without it moving. Huh. Fun detail to notice, actually. Because, like, that's compared to, like, the Falcon Eye, which is just a fucking cannon strapped to... That's the main part of the forearm, but this is different. It's literally just a gun attached to the arm. Also, the music. God, I'm loving the music. It picks up in a moment here, but it's such a nice, bouncy, energetic song, which is very different compared to the rest of the Liza P OST. Like, the rest of the OST, the main OST, is very somber, very grim, very grand. It's reflecting the fact that this is a disaster. Everything has gone to hell. It's all just, this crazy stuff. But Overture makes me feel like we're in for perhaps not something more positive, but definitely something less severe, I feel. Because like Liza P is a very severe game in the usage of that tone. Like, the tone is very somber, very grim at times. But it does obviously have a positive ending if you go for Rise of Peace, so this makes it interesting, especially when you keep in mind that in musical terminology, Overture is the opening, basically it's the opening part of a piece, right? So that does imply to us why this DLC is in fact a prologue of sorts. How did Krot get here is the big question.
You're not the puppet I was expecting.
This lady has me very curious, because she's definitely an alchemist, you can tell. You can definitely tell that she's used ergo to enhance herself by the pale blue skin and all that stuff. It's the same kind of ergo glove that Geppetto uses, though it seems a bit... Yeah, no, it's literally the same kind of hand enhancement to control a puppet with the ergo strings that Geppetto has. Though it seems a bit more refined, at least. Geppetto's looked kind of messy in the ending. So this is very interesting. She's obviously a boss, and you can definitely see more ruined puppets and stuff around her. So we're not quite free of ergo monsters, but it definitely does seem to be. We're not quite at the ergo monsters brought about by the outbreak that the alchemists made, but rather the preliminary trials, I think, is what we're going to see.
Who are you?
As I said, this goddamn thing.
Archie's looking for someone.
And whatever there's a lot of, some of these are locations I feel like you can definitely identify them from the main game. Like, reel back, this looks like...
Archie's looking for...
Like, going by that door, I can't tell if this is meant to be the Relic of Trismegistus or not. It looks like the relic, but I could be very wrong.
For someone.
And then we have that facility, then we have whatever the hell this thing is.
Legendary. She stepped up.
Okay. This entire thing, this monument of, this is the thing that's making me ask even more questions. What the hell is this? Like, that seeming ergo monster that looks like it's in the Relic of Trismegistus. We have this facility that's covered in ice, just frozen over. There's so many questions about what we're going to be seeing, where we're going to be going. And then there's just this thing, this idol of crystallized blood. What the hell is this supposed to be, dog? I don't know. But I'm also interested in, and I think I brought it up when we got to the beach. So we have the legendary Stalker here. We obviously don't have her name, so we can just refer to her as let's just call her the Stalker. Like, P meeting her, she draws her saber. Clearly, she was not expecting him to be here. What I'm interested in is we already know from the main story that she knew Carlo, right? She knew Carlo. Carlo wanted to be trained by her to become a Stalker himself, and she was there when Carlo died and regrets it immensely, as we'll get a line later. So I'm very interested, because the story trailer too, we'll talk about it in the story trailer, because that also has its own implications, so we'll get to that. But
Stepped up only because no one else could.
also, that line makes me interested. It's like, it's legendary, but that line implies a lot, though. Is she only, like, she obviously has to be a skilled Stalker, but that legendary, she stepped up only because no one else could. Does that imply that her legendary status isn't really something she wanted? I mean, obviously, think about it. Most people who get called out don't want it. Now, this is interesting. This is one of the moments with one of the new weapons where I'm just very curious what this is going to be. We obviously have the sword, right? We obviously have this mechanical sword. This kind of reminds me of, like, Sheisa's weapon, actually. But it's not quite either. It looks almost like a prototype version of it when you look at it, right? Because that's obvious. That hilt is a fucking Tesla coil. So, are we going to be getting, like, a prototype? I don't know. But then we get this. And this has me really excited.
Too many stalkers will last that evil.
Alidoro! And not the fake Alidoro. This is the real Alidoro. And as you can tell, he's also using the Twin Dragon Blade. It's heavily implied, I think, that the Twin Dragon Sword was something that Alidoro used. Okay, so we can see on his left hand he has all his fingers, but I wonder if the right hand on his model is going to be missing fingers. But that's so cool that we'll be able to call on him. Oh, and he's even got the sheath on. Oh, that's cool as fuck. So that's really cool that it seems like you'll be able to summon him either in specific instances or as, like, a weapon ability. Is that going to be a Fable art, or is that going to be, like, a thing that you could do? Then we have whatever this lady is. Fucking rocket hammer. What? Let's frame by frame this a bit, because I'm trying to see what the weapon is. I think, no, that's another new weapon. Yeah, that's not the, that's something else. That's something else that's new, too. Then we have a bow. A bow. It's just a straight up bow, too. I love how there's nothing fancy about it. It's just a bow. But then another new Legion arm, which is, again, that has me curious, but we'll talk about that in a second. An ergo mutated shark. What the fuck? So it looks like, yeah, there's a lot of interesting new stuff, but I want to talk about this, thing real quick, because what I'm curious about is the Legion arm. So obviously we get a bow, which is going to be really interesting considering the fact we didn't get any ranged weapons in base game, aside from the Falcon Eye arm. So what I'm curious about is the Legion arm itself. It's hard to tell what its functionality is just by appearance. Obviously with the white arm, we know it just has a shotgun on it. Its Legion arm ability is going to be focused around the shotgun and whatever this is. But this, I can't tell. I wonder if this is going to be like an auxiliary melee weapon, or maybe if it's tied to the bow itself. It's hard to tell for now. This looks like it has to be some kind of blade. It makes me wonder if it's going to be like an axe of some kind. Like in Sekiro, one of your prosthetic tools is just a big honking axe that attaches to it, a spring-loaded axe that you use to smash through shields. But that's like with Sekiro mechanics, so I can't tell what this is supposed to be here. Again, it looks like it could be an axe blade, but it could be something else entirely, and we'll just have to wait till we maybe get some, like, gameplay previews properly, which I imagine we'll get some. NeoWiz is probably going to drop some more stuff leading up to release this summer. Then we get another new weapon. We get claws, and by the looks of it, this is also a Legion arm ability. Because if you look at it, the claws are coming from this Legion arm. So, okay, I want to pause on that. Yeah. Plus you can see it glowing. This is a Fable art. So either no. Oh wait, no, that's a Fable art. It's just a new weapon. But then what's the Legion arm he's got? Yeah, it's just I think that's just the basic arm of steel meant to look better here. So we can tell we got these new claws. This is obviously a Fable art. So yeah, we have this new claw weapon. We have this ergo monster guy. So a new claw, they're getting really inventive with the weapons for this DLC, actually. just seeing what we've seen so far, like, because in base game, every weapon is obviously constrained by, like, the handle is the moveset, the blade is its damage type and range. But a lot of these DLC weapons, from the looks of it, seem very, very unique in their aspects and their movesets. So that's got me curious. Okay, this definitely looks like, I can't tell if this is, no, this is different. This is a different guy. Now, before we get to dialogue, I want to talk about this. This weapon that we see P holding right here, this is the one I'm most excited for, because it's a fucking gunblade. But let's listen.
I'll do whatever it takes. Your survival is all that matters. Nothing else comes close, not even my life. I swear I won't be late. Not again.
Fucking Virgil move. I'm pretty sure, going by what visually, this is a legendary Stalker saber. Like, it looks like this is her saber. And I love the whole rose motif, the dashing around to this big, just BM off move. We have what's clearly the boss fight with the puppeteer. God, this DLC looks like it's gonna have so much going on, and I'm so interested in what we're gonna get out of it, right?
Not again.
And again, oh, the music is just so good. Summer 2025. Oh, God, I'm so curious what this is going to be. And that line from the legendary Stalker, I won't be late, not again. That has to be tied into Carlo's death, so... but we're not done. We got a bit more to talk about, but... we'll cut again, and then I'll update, because, oh boy, funny recording things. Cut now. Okay, so shenanigans happened between cuts, and this ended up having to be a second file just because of reasons. Not a big deal. I just didn't want to make sure there wasn't anything sitting for like 5 minutes because I ordered a thing from Amazon and I had to run around because I swear to God, there's like 1 or 2 Amazon drivers who they're just dumb and they don't drop stuff at my apartment sometimes. It's whatever. Problem solved. It's fine. I got my thing. So it's all good. Needed a new phone case. I got a new phone case. It's done. It's easy. Now we need to talk about the second trailer for Overture. Of course, the story trailer. You can see it in the corner. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. It's not hard to see. Anyway. Well, this one probably won't be talked about for as long, but we shall see. Actually, this will probably take even longer because this is almost double the length of the reveal trailer. So let's go. So interesting how we open, obviously, on the on the Stalker. Yeah, so interesting that for thematic purposes they're using the basic, like the Hand of Steel. I do like the thematics they do, because I have watched this trailer already. I like they do this fun thematic parallel of showing the Stalker and then showing P following it in her trail. So it does beg the question then, so are we... Because obviously from the first trailer, we know we're going to meet up with her at some point in the DLC. So does that mean that in the initial... So that makes me think, are the initial phases of the DLC going to be P following the trail of the Stalker to find where she is, and then like by late game, she's helping us with the final stages or something? Or is it going to be that? I'm very curious, because obviously we're going to get her sword at some point as well, so I wonder if that's going to be like a big story event, like near the end of it, she hands her sword over to P as like a sign of goodwill, maybe as she's dying or something, or just to prove that she's done with this. Lots of speculation.
Listening to this song always reminds me of you.
So red wax can't... Okay. And then we have a interesting cut. This... Is it just me, or is this the blade that goes into the Legion arm? Into that golden Legion arm? I don't think it is. No, it's a different shape. It's a different shape.
But now you belong to the past.
You know what? That does make me wonder, too. Are we going to get answers about who Gemini was? Because we know Gemini used to be human. So, M. Wait. M as in monad? Because, as in monad. Because we know for yeah, no. I didn't notice that at first. So, M. Either that stands for monad. Is she like is she related to Sophia? Because M has to be for monad. Okay, now I'm starting to wonder if that's actually is that actually made out of wax like all the candles? It might be wax. I really don't know, and it's still freaky as hell.
Do you remember the time we all gathered to play this piece together?
Yeah, and then, again, the coat with the M on it. So this has to be related to the monads, right? And we find the coat and she took the pin.
I never got to say farewell.
Okay, so yeah, I am kind of right about it. So we follow along with her, and then we find her in this shack. Silver pocket watch. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do this faster, mostly just because this is like, there's a lot of questions to be had here. A lot of questions, a lot of things to ask. We'll go back over it and kind of talk about it, but this is very simple. It's not like the reveal trailer where I think there's a ton to go over. So we have, yeah. So we have various boss fights, and we get this, obviously. Definitely hints about the moveset for her sword. With the puppet saber, so we're gonna get the fight alongside her, so that's interesting. Let me dial that back, though, so we can listen to the dialogue.
I know it changed everything, but we endured.
Again, so we're definitely gonna get the fight alongside her. We maybe find her... If I had to guess, maybe we're gonna find her, like, the midpoint of the DLC. Going by that location. Either that's, like, a third of the way or halfway through, if I had to guess. Or it's gonna be early on. Maybe maybe you'll meet her sooner, and then you go through a good chunk of the DLC with her, or maybe it's again, my speculation is it's going to be a midpoint or a late point encounter with her, and then you go through the rest of the DLC with the stalker as like a companion. Also, very stylish shot there.
Perhaps someday, if we can cross the bounds of time, we'll meet again.
Okay, so... Okay. I'm gonna give my speculation now that we're kind of in the close there. Hold up, let's finish off this trailer. Okay. So, like I said, it's kind of weird how there doesn't... Okay. This one doesn't, ironically, initially I don't feel like there's as much to talk about, but if we go through it, so let's just kind of pan through. So it's obvious we're following some kind of trail. We have this priest guy, bandaged face and a mask. There's some importance to the music being played. I don't know what this is. A bloody blade that's dripping. This has got to be like after a boss fight. Then we have this encounter in front of this wax. Is it wax? Is it blood? I don't know. So it's obvious that the initial stages of the DLC are definitely going to be us following the stalker, following her trail until we encounter her at wherever this cabin in the woods is. So then we get this encounter scene where we surprise her naturally. And she's definitely going to recognize us as similar to Carlo, and this pocket watch is going to have something to do with it. Someone either gives it to us or we find it on the way to her is my guess. And going by the M imagery, this has to be related to the monads. Because, like, when it comes to the letter M in Liza P, it always goes back to the Monads in some way, right? Either the Monads or like Simon Pistrus Manus, so something like that. You have this boss fight with whoever the hell this guy is. And then, obviously, just an action shot. And then we have this big old goddamn mansion, which, if I remember correctly, it was like that Sophia was raised in an orphanage run by the Monads. Or she's either the daughter or an adopted orphan to the Monad family, which has... which we don't know a whole lot about, actually. So there's a lot of questions, and obviously this is what a trailer is meant to do. It's meant to make you ask questions, it's meant to make you wonder what's going on. And I have to applaud the fact that for a trailer, this doesn't actually spoil a whole lot. Like, we are inundated with trailers that just spoil almost everything a game has. Or like a game where a DLC has. I had to drink some water in the middle of that. So I'm very glad that we have a trailer that's just making us ask questions about what's going to happen. When do we meet this character? What are we even encountering? What are we even doing here in the past? Like, it's obviously by that image, if we can cross the bounds of time. And this is definitely going to be a later location, if I had to guess. This pristine mansion that may or may not be tied to the Monads. It's a lot of questions about what's coming, but it's a very, I think, worthwhile pursuit of where this could go. Obviously, we'll get our answers come summer, but until then, it's kind of just left to speculation. Like, that's kind of all you can do in these cases, is that you can really only just speculate, you know? Speculate, try to figure out what's going on. It is the fun of trailers. I definitely need to do more trailer reactions and analyses, because these are fun to do. I like talking about just details, kind of letting the brain run for a little bit, seeing what happens, getting the brain juices running, the gears turning, which is different from most of my normal reactions, which is just me going, oh. Oh, boy. Well, anyway, as usual, if you like this, hey, leave a comment, subscribe to whatever, you know, have fun. See you people in the comments, anyone else who's interested in talking about this, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.